and welcome back to the Vlanalog. Today we're going to discuss Dancing with the Stars. We just finished the first episode where we saw the first dancers, and, well, the first dance of all the dancers. And so I'd like to hear what my co-hosts' thoughts were.
Not only that we don't pre-discuss, so I have an idea what to talk about at a given time. It's that you hit the start button while I'm sitting here drinking my tea and I don't even know we're filming.
Oh, I thought that we were doing like the Michael and Kelly morning talk show.
I don't watch
like
Michael
where we
and Kelly.
drink, we can take drinks. So I'll go first. Let's talk about Hayes, because frankly, his the fact that he by having 6 seconds of fame on Vine is why I do this, because one day I hope to be discovered by Dancing with the Stars, and then I'll perform. And of course they'll give me to Tony Devolani, because they give all the rotten dancers to Tony Devolani, and we'll go home in the first week. But it will still be fun.
Maybe you'll be lucky and they'll give you one of these 2-week things to start.
That's true.
And then you can hang out with Tony backstage and never leave like he does every season.
Right. I wouldn't leave. There's no question about that. And, and then that's the funny thing. I find that the previous dancers never leave. Like, we have Danica and Rumor and
Robert,
all these people in the audience, they really like the show, and I think it really must be a fun time, because they all come back and as audience members. So I want to be a part of it.
do we need more light?
Let's go with a little more light.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll just add it. Okay, so.
Gary Busey.
Gary Busey. It's kind of obvious that he has had a severe head injury in his lifetime. And I love him. And I also love Anna Trebunskaya. I always put the accent in the wrong spot, but...
Well, you have trouble with accents sometimes, like when we saw her in the restaurant, and you were, Anna, Anna, Anna.
Okay.
It's Anna.
Anna. I say Anna.
Not when you saw her.
Well, the Buffalo accent in me came out. But anyway, she was very lovely to meet in person. And Anna is definitely a fun person to watch. She's very feisty, and I enjoy watching her. So I'm glad to have her back. I don't know how long she'll be back for, because I'm not sure how people feel about Gary Busey. Now, he was on The Celebrity Apprentice, and I thought, boy, Donald's going to want to keep him around for ratings for a long time. And he was, like, gone week 1. So, I don't know.
I have a hard time watching him. His, the cringe humor aspect is not something I'm fond of, and Gary is very cringy.
He's a little cringy, but it's funny because, like, when he was talking to Tom, and he said about his eye going all around in circles.
I have questions about if Gary really saw that, though.
Well, it might have actually been happening, but it's sort of like he's not out of touch. It's like you think he is, and then all of a sudden he does something, and the cat's biting my feet. He does something where it's like he really does know what's going on, and he's funny. So anyway, I look forward to seeing him. I know he's not going to be around for very long, because the funny, not so great dancers, they make it longer than they should, but never too far. So I don't think we'll see too much of him. We've got the husband and wife pair. Mm-hmm. Both seem to be very good.
They both seem good. I put them as middle of the Packers, like playing center. Mm-hmm. Just because I don't think either of them really has the fame to jump to that next level.
Yeah. And
really take the title, but they both seem to be good dancers.
Yeah, yeah. I think they'll be around for a while. And, I mean, they could possibly improve, too. Mark is obviously a good instructor. And Whitney, they're both very strong professionals that they're with. So sometimes, even if they're not the most famous or seem to have like the best technique week 1, those two can bring it out in them as time goes by. I think obviously standouts were Bindi and Nick. I mean, they were the ones who got the highest judges scores, and I think rightfully so. Bindi was a lot of fun.
She was. Effervescent personality.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that should be it. I see her going to the end.
Well, she is with Derek.
Then Derek always...
That ticket's pretty much punched.
It is. It is. And that's another thing. I would like to see Derek with Shaka Khan. Like, switch partners. And I want to know, is it Shaka Khan's partner who is... And I'll always say Shaka Khan. I don't think I can ever say Shaka without the Khan.
Of course not.
Okay.
Why would you?
I don't know. But... What's his name? Elo? Keo. I've not been impressed with him. And I know he's had weak partners. But I also think he's not a very good instructor. I think he's a little too self-centered. And it's more, it's always on him instead of his partner. And I think his partner suffers for that. So I would like to see Shaka Khan go someplace else. Because I think she had more potential than was brought out.
And what about Paula Dean?
I think she can go home along with her partner. I've been happy not to have Louis Van Amstel for many, many seasons. There's something about him. I think the same idea as Keo. He's often very, and I don't know, I didn't really see it so much this time around, but in the past, I felt he was self-centered or self-focused at least. Professional and wanting to bring out his best, which, you know, in the you get to a point because you understand, because this gives them fame and, you know, recognition as well, and can be a jumping point for them too. But I mean, that's not quite what the show is about. So I don't care for Paula Dean and I don't care for Louis. So if they happen to leave before their time score wise, I wouldn't be sad.
Right.
Tony again, like I said, he gets the bad dancers, and I think he did again with the housewife.
I completely forgot about it. Yeah,
So
I would rather watch random people off the street than any of those housewives. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
I words fail me about the loathing I have for that whole genre of television.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but the thing is, I love Tony, and I want him to stay around, right. And I like to see him, but the good news is he will stay around, because he doesn't go home.
Leaves.
Even if his partner goes home, he'll stick around. So, that, you know, we never lose Tony, even if we lose his partner.
The Soldier. With Lindsay.
Wow, he was really good.
He was.
You know, and I wonder if part of it is just military training, and where they're told what to do, and they do it.
That could be.
Because how are these military guys doing so well? I mean, including one last year without an arm and a leg. I mean, they're good.
They are. For Noah, though, a lot of stuff was choreographed around his limitations, which, I mean,
certainly,
the guy had an arm and a leg
blown
blown off, so I can understand, but...
I mean, if you think about it, though, that happened more, and it was more noticeable at the end when he was competing against the best of the best, and he was in the final 3 or 4. But in the beginning, he was holding his own, like, very well. So, anyway, Alec, that was the name of...
Yes.
He was good, and I would look forward to seeing him. Cat came flying down. Okay. And we have... the jockey.
Oh.
How fun was he? I mean...
I would go more for disturbing, but he had enthusiasm.
He did have enthusiasm, and he had some hip thrusts. And I really think, I think he'll be around for a little while. Is going to be a problem. And I don't know, I kind of pictured him going with Whitney, because I thought that he might have more of like a Mario Castroneves kind of dance
Who's
about
Mario
him.
Castroneves?
Is that the wrong name?
Yes. Are you thinking of Mario Lopez or Helio Castroneves?
Oh, I'm thinking of Helio Castroneves.
Who was with Julianne.
Who was with Julianne. The race car driver. I called him Mario earlier today to a coworker, and she didn't correct me. She knew exactly who I was talking about.
I knew who you meant. But...
Helio Castroneves. So, I think Whitney is kind of the new Julianne, and they put the ones that might be like where they would have put Julianne in the past with her. So I don't know, but I kind of thought that they'd put those two together. But I think Karina is a professional who I've really started to take to. I didn't.
Was it the Playboy spread?
Yeah, it was. But I didn't really care for her too much as a professional in the beginning, but because she seemed kind of not mean, but business, like didn't have too much fun. And I don't know if she had more of a language barrier in the beginning, or if she was just like, this is dance and this is serious and we're gonna do it. But now she seems to have a lot more fun with her partners, and I think it shows in her choreography and dancing.
Was Val on this season?
Val was on. That was the one you missed. He was with Tamar.
Oh, Braxton.
Braxton. Now, who is Tamar Braxton?
Tony Braxton's sister.
Okay, because I know Tony Braxton, but I don't know Tamar. And she did well. Okay. You missed it, but she did. They did well.
I was picking up after supper.
Yeah.
So the cat's shredding a brand new roll of paper towels.
That we have because he
shredded the
last roll of paper towels. Stop it! This is...
These are what's left. We sacrificed a few to...
Yeah. Give him some playtime.
Right.
He's got paper towels all over him. But anyway, so that's really my thought. Who do you think... And I know that I think next week's judges' votes also count towards who goes and who stays. But who do you think, based on tonight alone, would go home next week?
It's always so hard to pick, and if you put me on the clock and said a name, I would still dither like this, because my brain gets into questions about popularity and voting trends, but I want Paula Deen to go because I can't stand her. I expect probably Chaka Khan.
Do you think so?
I just said it.
My thing with Chaka Khan is, when I read the list of names, I was like, I know Gary Busey and Chaka Khan.
Well, maybe your voting demographic will save them.
Yeah.
I don't know how many other middle-aged women watch the show.
Anyway, interesting that you think Chaka Khan would go home.
Well, her performance was one of the worst, and I don't know that her fan base would watch the show, and I don't think Keo has a fan base. So that's
I agree.
So that's why I say that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But
I'm thinking it's going to be The Housewife, and I think, although they always have more of a fan base than I give them credit for, because obviously that's why there's 50 million Housewife shows, and I think they do watch probably this show. I mean, they follow their people, but I think she probably would deserve to go home, and I don't think Tony's got the following that he should have. I mean, I think, no. and like last year when it was about looking to see who the person was, that you wanted to have and like to see their early videos, as to why they should be professionals. Tom was telling people, hey, pick Tony, and they didn't. And it's like he's not one of the ones that America really is drawn to, and I don't get it because I love him.
He's funny.
Mm-hmm. It should probably be The Housewife that goes. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna say, because I don't even remember her name, The Housewife.
Kim Solchek Bierman, something like that.
Okay. And you're gonna go with Chaka Khan.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see if we're right
or wrong.
Stay tuned.